Yeah, costing you can see in the cost analysis part, and here you have options to download your invoices, right? So you can say there are different options. First, you have to select the subscription scope, right, where you wanted to uh, see the cost. Then you have to see, okay, how you wanted to view accumulated cost or cost by resources or daily. Okay, so if I'm saying cost by resource, it is giving me details of each and every resource which is costing me how much, right? You can see there are so many virtual machines, correct? There are disk which is costing us. You can see Linux virtual machine which we have created is costing very less. Then there is some monitoring VM disk which we have created, right? So most of the charges coming from disk or virtual machine, right? You can say disk, virtual machine, and then there are some charges from service recovery vault, right? So you can download this complete sheet, cost by resource. You can select the timeline here, current billing period or last month or this month. Okay, you have different options this quarter or 6 months or 12 months. You can select them and you can download them. Okay, so if you download, you will get an Excel. How you wanted to download? You want to download as Excel or CSV? You can download this. Okay. So as an administrator, sometimes they will ask you, or even you can go there and you can see which resource is costing us more, right? So if I'm going cost by resource group, so there are different options to see the same costing, right? So you can see this is the way where I am seeing in different way. That is, here I am seeing RG1 is costing us more, right? And other resource group is costing us less. So this is like to see same pricing in different options, right? So let's say in your company you have divided teams with the resource group. So you wanted to know which team has consumed how much, right? So with the resource group you can get that, right? Also, if you have added the tag, you can add tag for different application, right? Or different application owner, and then from tag you can see the billing, right? So see, if I am given the tag environment is equal to staging, so I can see how much staging environment is costing us, correct? Let's say there are different tag. Environment is equal to dev, environment is equal to prod. So each environment we can segregate, right? Which environment cost us how much. So that's why tagging is important. And this blade is basically to download invoice. Okay, how much is the cost for last 7 days? How much is the cost for this month? How much is the cost for last three invoices? Last invoices is for April. Last 7 days. All these things we can see. Okay, from this, and then you have different option. Okay, resource group, cost by services, right? And then you have reservation. If you wanted to see if there is any reservation in your company, you can click on this reservation to review, and you will able to see, okay, what all reservation your company has made. Then you can see cost by resources. Okay, so also you can see some cost alerts. Okay, right now you don't have any alerts, so let's say I wanted to add a alert. I will give pay as you go. Okay, okay, let's say pay as you go. Okay, invoices billing month. I'm starting from 2022. Let's start with May. What is the threshold amount I'm saying? Okay, I will say maximum budget is 500 per month. I'm not going more than 500. Well, this is the training subscription, right? Because you have not deleted on time, it went to 400. It should not go to even 100 rupees also. This was our negligence that we have created. We have left it there. We have not deleted it. Okay? So we'll keep it 500. That is the max we wanted to pay per month, or you can say that is what our management has approved. Okay, you can spend up to 500. So I will set it till 400 only, like that. Okay. So based on actual, enter the budget. So I'll say 500 is the budget. So if I am reaching 80% of my budget, I should get a alert. So I don't have an action group. If you remember, we have created an action group, right? While creating an alert and notification. So you can create an action group. You can attach that action group here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can add your multiple email here also. You can create. Okay. So if you go to cost analysis again, after setting a cost alert, so you can see after 380, this is going straight. It will show you a line here. Okay, how much you are costing and what is your budget. Okay, it's not coming now. It's come. Okay, that is the cost alert. Then you have budget. Here also the same thing what we have done here in cost alerts. So budget already we have set up 500. Okay, it is in progress. So let it go there. Okay. Azure advisory is like where it will recommend, and so you can see buy virtual machine reserve instances to save over pay as you go. So this is a virtual machine which costed us higher. So if I click on this, uh, it will show me like which virtual machine it was. Okay, so we had created a DS1 V2 virtual machine in East US. Okay. And this Azure advisory is saying us, okay, please buy some reserve. You can save some amount of reserve uh, if you reserve these instances. Okay. So if I go inside that, it should have been here if we have not deleted. So we already deleted it long back. That's why it's not showing here. So we can go to Azure Advisory and see their different recommendation, and then we can check the logs of that virtual machine. You can see the CPU memory uses, right? If it is very less, maybe you can ask them to resize it to a smaller like size, right? And if it is like size completely zero, you can ask them to shut down, or if there is some uses, continuous uses, you can ask them for a reserve instance. You can suggest your member, okay, please go for a reserve instance kind of. So this is all about your pricing. Okay. Any question in pricing? Okay. Thank you. We have here till okay. Let's go to web app. I was unable to complete the lab, so we will be doing it here only. Like I didn't got time to start also. So we'll say deploy Azure web app. Let's say deploy .NET based web application to Azure web app using DevOps pipeline. There are so many documents which will help you to do that. Deploy your web app, your pipelines. Let's get where we'll get some code. I'm just trying to find out .NET new, .NET run, with pipeline. Okay. Sure. Yeah, this task seems good. Let's go to this one. Okay. So for any document, if you are doing it from a scratch, please go through the prerequisite. Okay. Deploy an Azure web app. You can see there are some prerequisite here. Use Azure pipelines to automatically deploy web app to Azure services on every successful build. Okay, Azure pipelines lets you build, test, and deploy a continuous. So we will be using YAML pipeline, using a YAML pipeline in your repository. Okay, and also there are some prerequisites: create Azure free account, GitHub, Azure DevOps organization. We already have all them, right? And ability to run pipeline in Microsoft hosted agent. That also we do have. Create an Azure app service in Azure portal that we can do right away. It should not take much time, and we will be using this. Okay. Build your app in Azure pipeline. So let's first do this. Okay. So we will be creating a .NET project locally. If you remember, last time we have done this in our Visual Studio. If you don't remember, let's do that. I'm opening Visual Studio Code. I will go to a new folder. I will say .NET application. Select that. So right now I'm trying to just create a sample application. Basically, in case of real-time world, you will get this application code from your developer, right? In case of real-time project. So we don't have that code here. So this part is build your app with Azure pipeline. The first part till here is like we are generating a uh, demo application, okay? And then we will be using that code as our source code, okay, for our pipeline. Hope that is clear for you all. Thank you. So let's say .NET new. Let's see if it is not working there. So let me go to CMD because I remember installing .NET. Okay, maybe .NET 6 is not installed. We'll install .NET also. Wanting more, just allow me 2 minutes. So .NET has been installed. Let's try to run again. Let me go to the extension here. .NET. So if something is not working in Visual Studio, you have to add the extension. Okay. It's installed, seems to be. Let's go to file again, for terminal. And this is not working. Not sure if I have to restart my system. Before that, let us close and restart again. No, it's not working. Let it work last time. Is there anything which it says create new .NET web app? If you don't have .NET project to work with, create a new one and upload your code to GitHub repository or Azure repository. That is fine. Yet there is some problem with this because I remember I have created this last week only. Okay. Mm, my Express app. This is again a .NET base only, which I have created last time. It worked, but this is like node based. Okay, leave it. Let's create a new. Okay. I will run again this .NET web app to include this. Okay, we have just installed. Let me restart my system and come back. Okay, be on call. I will stay.
Okay, because
Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I'm getting same your message. Preparation. Let us check .NET version. It's Windows, so .NET has to be installed automatically there. Maybe we are missing something. .NET IBM. How do I find? How do I check that? Latest version we have downloaded this and installed already. We started my system also. Let's say .NET run. .NET run does not exist. Okay, let me see this in CMD. No, this is also not working. Let me go to that folder which we have created earlier. Cloud test platform. Express app was also from the .NET only. Let me go here and see if this is working. .NET will work on PowerShell or something like that. Let's try with PowerShell. No, everywhere it says application is not installed. .NET SDK is there. This is happening. Anyone has any idea? Let us go to the place where .NET was installed, and from there we'll run this. Okay, so let's find out the path first. Otherwise, we have to have environment variable. Okay, so we'll go to this PC, C drive, program files. Anyone see .NET? Okay, .NET. Here we have the application .NET. Let's move to that file and then run.
Because set up a part over the over environment.
Sorry,
I'm saying that set up the path of .NET over the environment section.
not getting your what you're trying to say.
Hello, are you audible? Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, you are.
Hello. I'm saying that please set up the environment, set up the path
Environment variable.
of the
Yes, yes,
dot.
I know that.
Yes.
Mhm. It's not executable. It's the environment variable only. Set environment variable Windows for .NET. Environment variable. to settings. No, we haven't variables done. Is there .NET? No. We have to create new. 1 minute.
विकास भाई आप म्यूट पे हैं। आपने रखा है म्यूट।
Just trying to install .NET using Chocolatey so that environment variables will be configured by itself. Let's see. Sometimes this happens. You will not able to use this happens with Terraform also. Environment variables would have fixed the issue, but it's not fixing. Let's see. Download 86 bit. Right. That is the code name. Build app SDK. That is the correct one. Visual Studio Basics. There are other options also to build an application. I will try once again here, and if not, we'll try to use some other one. Okay. Okay. This one has step to step by step. Let's see. Is it done? Let's check if .NET is working or not. .NET. It's not recognized as external or internal command. Environment variable. Let me try setting them again. .NET is already added.
Vikas, have you added the path of the .NET to environment variable?
Yes, yes, already did that.
Recheck that. I have a doubt. It is not properly.
It's already added, Ajit. So
Okay.
yes, you can see it's already added both of them. Very good. We close that. We see .NET. Okay, so seems to be it's working. Not find the project path. .NET Run is working here. Let's see. Okay, it's working in Visual Studio Code, and we are able to create a application here. Seems to be .NET 6 is not valid. Okay, so now it's giving me either for .NET 6. Okay, I don't want to change that path. Which path I am? Hmm. Okay, let me change this path to I want to create it. Still, we are getting error message for .NET 6. I'm going here .NET 6. Select for 23, not this one. Package. It should have installed the latest one. Markup. Okay, I will install again .NET 6 which we have downloaded locally. Let's see how to install .NET 6 using this chocolatey. .NET 6, this is there. Let's try installing this. .NET 6 is not a valid parameter. Okay, let's remove .NET 6. Okay, I will just say till there. See what it does. Again, it failed. Okay, so yes, there was some problem with .NET version. So if I remove that, I am saying .NET new web app. We are able to create this. Okay, and you can see if you wanted to run this web app, you can. We have a command for that also, right? To close all the installation. So yes, again, here we are trying to get a sample application code which developer will basically provide you. And so we have installed .NET. We have created a new .NET web app. Okay, this framework is not working because there is some problem with .NET 6. We have just created .NET new web app and one web application has been created. Let's check if this web application is running or not. Okay. Okay, so you can see this web application is running. How I can check? I can check with this local host, right? Copy the local host detail, or even you can directly paste this here. Okay, so you can say .NET Home Privacy. There is one application which has been installed in my local machine and it is running. Okay, now what I have to do? Next step. If you go to documentation, we have code in local. Let's say developer has their code in local. What we need to do? We have to update that code to Please copy that link. Yeah. So let's say we have the application running in developer's machine. What we have to do, we have to get that code uploaded to a DevOps repository, correct? How we can do that? Let's go to DevOps. Okay, sign in. Okay, so I created a project ASP.NET CI/CD. I will open that project. Okay, then I have to go to repository. So you can see this repository has been not initialized. Let's initialize this repository first, and then I'll clone this. Okay, clone in VS Code and open. It's asking us to select the repository location, right? So let's go to D drive and select the same folder. But to clone, it should be okay. It should be an empty folder to clone it first time. So it's work. So let's say I will open. Stupid file. Which one was it? .NET app. This one was it, right? So we have cloned the same thing which is there in our repository which we have just created locally. Now we have to upload this to our repo, right? Click source control has been not established. Okay. We have to move everything there in that folder. That's what happened. Okay, so now we have everything here. Let's upload this all to our repository. We'll say adding .NET project. Then we'll push the changes. Okay. So what I did, I cloned the online repository to my local to some folder. Then I have moved all the code to that folder, and then from there I'm uploading that to repository. Okay. So if you again go back to repository and refresh, we should have all the code coming here. You can say now we have all the code in our repository. So what is the next step? Next step is to create a pipeline, correct? We'll again follow the same document. we have created .NET based application. We have uploaded our code to DevOps repository. Now we have to create a pipeline, right? We know how to create a pipeline. Let's go to DevOps, right? Go to project, then go to pipelines, create a pipeline where my code is. It's in Azure repository. Select the repository, then select ASP.NET Core, or even you can select a starter pipeline, okay, or existing Azure pipeline in YAML. You can select both if you wanted to create, or you can select, okay, it's ASP.NET Core. That's what this document says. Select ASP.NET Core. It will automatically give you a pipeline, okay. You can see if you have selected ASP.NET Core, it is saying the trigger, okay, based on our main it will trigger. Then it is VM image it is giving, that is your agent, and there is some variable configuration, release, and then this task is to build our code into an image, okay. So you can select which application. If you know, it will automatically give you a sample pipeline for you, okay. Then you can save this. Yeah. If you go to your this Visual Studio Code and go to source control and just pull, okay. If you pull your latest code and again go to pipeline, you can see there will be one YAML pipeline created, right? So this is your YAML pipeline, correct? You can edit your YAML pipeline locally and again update it back. Even you can take this YAML pipeline to different repository or different project, right? So that is the one reflection of YAML, like it is kind of a code, like your we have seen infrastructure as a code, right? So this is basically your pipeline as a code, correct? So YAML, we can write our pipeline in YAML and we can uh, take it anywhere, or you can reuse it, correct? So let's go there. Okay, we have created, we have already seen, right? Do you want to run this pipeline? Let's run and see what happens. Okay, we have to select the main branch where your code is and we'll say run. So you can see our task is successful. It has created some application from the code which we have updated. Okay, so first one is checkout, second is the build, and then this is a post checkout. Okay, so like our application code we are able to build using a build pipeline. Okay, so we can add so many tasks inside that. Let's go to document, we'll see. So it's simply they are asking you to us to deploy this to Azure Web App. Okay, let's do that first, then we will see different things. Okay. Okay, so if you compare .NET command which they are using, or you can say YAML pipeline which they are using, which are we are using, there is one miss, right? We are not using this publish. So once our task is built, we have to publish our artifact. Okay, so this publish task is for that. Like basically, you can say you are copying the artifact. Okay, again you can edit here only. Okay, I have added a task. Let's save this. I will say adding publish to YAML. I will say commit, and then I will say push. Okay, so if CI/CD is enabled, my pipeline should already triggered. Let's check that. You can see already it's like triggered based on any new code in my repository, right? So this is your complete CI. You are pushing any code or your developer is making any changes to the code, your pipeline will trigger automatically and it will give you an image. Okay, that is a complete CI. So you can say this is also successful. So in this you can see there is one more .NET CLI has been added, which will basically publish the image, right? So this image will see how to store this image in some artifact, right? This is just publishing. Okay, we are okay with till then. What is the next step? Once we have stored that image, next task we have to add is to deploy it to some web application, right? Let's create a web application quickly. Here is web application. Go to portal. So if you are using YAML pipeline, there is no separate release pipeline, or you can say CD pipeline. If you are using Classic, then there is a release pipeline. Okay, I will be using this. Are you people understanding the pipeline part here? The YAML pipeline part?
Yes, Vikas, I understand not about the others.
Okay. Okay, let's see. This is a CLI. Let's create new group. Then let's create a web app service plan. Yes. Okay, so what all is required to create a app service? We need a resource group. We need a app service plan. Then you can create a Azure app service, right? We have discussed Azure app service last time, right? Okay, let's just create it here, right? App service plan. My service plan provides us the plan. My service plan doesn't exist. Let's try to run it once again. My service plan. That's what the name is. My app service plan. But actually it doesn't exist. Okay, let's try to create once again. Go in there. No, it's in resource group cannot be find. Okay. AG group create. What was that? No? Just even with that kind of my RG, my RG. Correct. That was the problem. Not sure if they have done it intentionally. They have created a different resource group, and they have given a different resource group name here. That's why it's giving a problem. Let's change our command line. See, Azure Web App create G is for group, T is for plan, name of the app, and then runtime. Okay. I guess due to that only it was unable to find the app service plan. Okay. Our app service is getting created. Maybe you can go to portal and see our app services got created. Let's close this. Go to resource group, my app RG. You can see there is one app service plan is there, and app service should also come soon. And there is one app service which got created, right? So now what to do? We have to add a task. Whatever we have created an image using our build pipeline to deploy it to where we have to deploy. We have to deploy it to web app, right? So let's go to pipeline. Same pipeline we wanted to edit. We'll say edit. We'll go at the end of this task. Okay. Then what we wanted to do, we wanted to add a task called deploy to web app, right? So you can search here web app, Azure app service deploy. Okay. Same thing they are also saying here. That one. So yes, you can say Azure web app, which we have already select. You have to use this task. Okay, deploy to Azure web app. So go there. Which one is that? Deploy to Azure web app. The first one or this one? Deploy to Azure web app for Linux and Windows, right? This is the second one. This is for web, mobile, and ASP.NET something. Use this one, and then you have to select subscription by itself. So even if you don't know YAML, you can select here and you can create it. I don't have an service principal. I will say authorize. It will automatically create a service connection for me. Then app type, web app on Linux. That's what we have created. Then web app, it will automatically, it should fetch. Okay, so there is some problem which we are getting is access problem. That's fine. Let's fix the access problem. That's why we have created what you call service principal last time, right? So we are not using that. Let's try to try the second one if this works. If not, we will create, we'll change the access there. Okay, let's go to portal, go to home, go to subscription, go for that, go to IAM, we'll add some role. Okay, I'm okay with contributor. See next. You wanted to give it to user service principal, select member. I don't have more members, so not this one. How I will able to check if service connection name? Anyone? I'll go to settings. Then there will be having service connections, right? So this is the service connection name. If I am clicking on that, manage service principal is there. Click on manage service principal. Then you will get the service principal detail. Okay. This is the name of the service principal. Copy that, search here. It is taking some time. Not showing there still. This is here, but when I'm trying to select that user here, so it's not working. Okay, now it's coming. So let's select that. We'll say okay. So it's like not bit slow. It's showing too much slowness. It should not take at least 2-3 minutes also. Review and assign already exists. Okay. Now it should work here automatically if this already exists. So let's select again. Price. Okay. I just try to add it as owner. Okay, we have added. Should come now at least. Okay, let's reload again. Go to the last and again match this line. Then select the task, which task you want to add. Azure App Service Deploy. Select the subscription. We have given access to all of them. So Linux based. Unable to still find that app. Let's open. Okay, not an issue. Let's go to web app. We'll assign access at web app level also. Okay. My RG, IAM, add tool assignment, the owner, next, select member, and select, review and assign. After assigning also, it is taking around 5 minutes to replicate. That's why it's not showing up here. We'll reload again this page. You'll able to find your web app which you have deployed in a drop down. Okay. Let's give the name. This is the name of our web app. Okay, my RG. I'm just saying .NET Windows. Is it a Windows based which you have created just now? Okay, we have created a Windows based app service plan and we are searching their Linux. Let's go to Windows. No, no, what is happening here? Use that. Let's say add. Okay. Usually you should get there in the drop down if you're not getting. If one I said add and you can say there is a YAML pipeline already created here, right? It's been added at the end of my YAML pipeline, the task. If I wanted to add some other task, let's say I wanted to deploy in one more app, same thing I will say web app. Okay, deploy to Azure Web App, Linux and Windows. I will select subscription. I will select app type, and I will select the application from drop down. Okay, somehow it is not coming. It should, maybe it's taking some delay for the access part. Okay, and then once you say add, it will add at the back end here. Okay, at the end of your YAML, it will add the task. Okay, I will remove that. Let's save this code. Okay, so we have added from this line 22 to line 27. It should already trigger our pipeline because this is also a commit to our repository, right? Go to pipelines. You can see ASP.NET CI is already building. So it's like waiting for an agent. Permit. Okay, meanwhile, let's go to our application and see what is deployed there in application as part of initial. Your web app is running and waiting for your content, right? So right now this web app is empty, nothing is running, or you can say just this demo is running. Let's go to our pipeline. Build is success, publish is happening. Let's say if Azure web app deploy is happening or not. No, it's not happening. What is got service connection detail for Azure does not exist. Okay, so same issue it is giving. Web app does not exist. Okay, how we can do that? Okay, let's go to home, not home, go to DevOps. Okay, we'll create a new service connection from our side. Okay, create a service connection. Let's delete these two. Okay. Delete second one also. I've already given access, but it is not working somehow. That's okay. We'll create a new service connection. We'll say Azure Resource Manager. Go next. Automatic service principal, we are fine with that. Service connection name will say Azure App Service Connection. Okay. If you wanted to select, let's select pay as you go. Select the resource group. Again, it's taking time. Okay, I'm okay with that. And I will just see grant permission to all pipeline. I will save. Okay. Let's do it. Service connection. Azure Resource Manager. Next. We have to go. Okay, it asked me to log in and I closed that window. I thought later on I will log in. But again, it is not asking for the second time. Will stay little bit, okay? Go to service connection, new service connection, Azure Resource Manager. Next, automatic. We are fine with that. Okay, now it is asking me. Because, so next. Once I've authenticated to, okay, let me authenticate to pay as you go. Now I'm getting here a different application, resource group, right? So my application is at my app resource group. I will select that. I will say app service service connection and say save. Now I have created a new service connection. Let's manage role for this. So it's again the same name they have created here in the backend. That's okay. Let's go to pipeline. We'll edit the same pipeline. Okay. What we'll try to do, we'll try to add same task once again. Web app for Linux. Go here. Select the subscription. We'll say app service connection which we have just created. App type is for Linux. App name. Again, no. Web app name. What's happening? It's not working. Unable to find my app here. Okay, let's run this. Web app Linux. Web app on Google. There is some problem with this Azure DevOps and Azure integration. Okay, it's already 9:31. We'll leave it here. I'll see how why it is not coming. Okay, basically it should give you the name of app where we want to deploy. So if you select your subscription or service connection, then app type, then you will get the name here. Okay, automatically it will populate the name here. And sometimes it used to also ask the resource group name, and it is not asking here. Even explicitly if we are giving here, it is not working. Okay, so let's try to do one thing. Let's try to click on Windows and give the same name and see if it is a Windows type, and we can deploy this. I will remove this one and just I will add this, and I will save. App service plan is of Windows type. That maybe the problem it was, and the application which we have built is the Linux type. Seems to be okay. That's why it's giving
Yes,
problem.
Vikas. I'm also thinking like that way. You
Hmm.
created for Linux and deploy
Hmm.
Windows,
It's
but it is
not
not
me.
working.
Like we have just followed the document of Microsoft, and they have given like that. So no, it will
Okay.
deploy this time. We have selected the correct web app. So let's go to pipeline. Stay. Let's save this. Commit to main branch. Will work this time. It should work this time. Okay. We cancel one pipeline. If there is two pipeline running, just cancel this. Now it required permission to the newly created service connection. So yes, this document has little bit confusion. Here it says create Windows, and there was somewhere it was saying create a .NET app. They were somewhere mentioned Linux, so they are confusing us basically. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see what is happening. Again, .NET Windows does not exist. Resource should exist before deployment. It's already there. We are unable to find it out. Okay, let's stop here. We'll see why it is not able to get it. Maybe due to service connection issues or something else. And then we'll continue on Monday. Okay. I have pinged one link in our meeting. Please copy that link. That is again related to web app deploy, and it has a exercise to it. Okay, which will help you to do all the tasks which I am trying to do here, but not in like pipeline manner. I guess you can do using pipeline also. That's what they say.
Vikas, can you send me the link of web app of the sandbox which you sent tomorrow yesterday?
Yes,
I haven't
absolutely.
copied that link.
Please copy it now. Web app again. I'm giving you this one. Is the web app, right? Yes, this one is web app. The earlier link also I have given you for web app only. So please copy and keep both of them. Try to do practice. Maybe not. Maybe you people can get success there, right? There is some problem in my account seems to be. So you can follow the every step and try to create web app. Okay. Hope you all are okay. Okay, we'll stop here. I'll stop recording. If anyone has any question, please go ahead.